Hi, welcome to Thinking Soon English, where every week we read and learn lessons from one of the most famous books in leadership. Today I'm going to share with you Chapter 2, The Law of the Big Picture, from the book 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork by John Maxwell. Let's begin. The law of the big picture. The goal is more important than the role. Years ago, I was invited to participate in an important conference that was being planned by a highly respected national organization. I was one of about a dozen speakers who had been selected to speak to an audience of more than 60,000 people drawn from all parts of the country. It was for a worthy cause that I valued, and I considered the invitation to be an honor. Several weeks before the conference was to occur, all the speakers were scheduled to meet together along with the founder of the organization to talk strategies, discuss the topics about which we'll speak, and give one another support and suggestions. I was really excited about it because the group included some extraordinary leaders. It promised to be an electric time, but the reality of the meeting turned out to be very different from what I expected. When we all got into a room together, it didn't feel like a strategy and support session. As we discussed the upcoming day, a few of the speakers seemed to be jockeying for position because they were good communicators. They understood that the speaking order, the time of day, and the amount of time allotted would make a big difference in how their messages would be received. The role each speaker was to play seemed to be of more interest than the goal of the conference. But I also noticed something else. When one speaker briefly informed us about his topic, I sensed immediately that his speech would be the real hinge-pin for the whole conference. All of the other messages would be subordinate to it. Yet, the man was not fighting for the best place. He wasn't jockeying. He didn't seem to want any part of that kind of maneuvering. In that moment, when everyone was focusing on himself, I realized that we had lost sight of the big picture of why we were there. So I said to the group about this speaker, I believe his message will be the difference maker in the lives of the people attending this conference. And I think the audience will receive it better if it's delivered when I am slated to speak. Please, I said to the person who wasn't trying to promote himself, take my spot. It was almost as if someone had struck each other in the room. Suddenly, everybody regained perspective. And after that, instead of looking out for themselves and protecting turf, all of the speakers were willing to give everything for the common good. We all remembered that the goal was more important than our individual roles. That is the essence of the law of the big picture. Isn't it so true? Sometimes when you become a leader, we tend to forget the big picture. We so focus on KPI, we so focus on the upcoming objectives, we so focus on the task at hand, and we tend to forget why we are doing it, the big picture. I encourage you to read the rest of the chapter, The Law of the Significance, and find some personal lesson for yourselves and how you can become a better person and a better leader. That's it for today. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.